Welcome to the Endless Honeymoon Podcast, folks. It's Burn Voyage from Chaboy, and that's me. I'm off.
Honey, I'm okay with Burn Voyage, but not the other one.
Not Chaboy?
Don't do that.
The thing is about you, Natasha. Well, first of all,
I'm very anti-bro in my heart.
Do you think Chaboy is a bro? Yeah, Chaboy is a bro. Chaboy, they should call it Chabro. Actually, I'm going to open up a yogurt company and call it Chabro. Chabro yogurt. What do you think? That sounds good. Comes with real nut. We nut in every box.
Okay, Moshe.
Natasha,
great idea.
Let me ask you this.
Yes.
Could I give you $150 million to essentially make out with a bro for 4 hours?
How much?
150 mil. And you got to really make out with him and stuff and rub his abs, you know, and then afterwards he's
4 hours?
4 hours straight.
Of course.
What about 4 days? And you can't leave the bedroom even for bathroom breaks.
That seems traumatic.
You pee on the bed, and he does too.
Maybe for $1 billion, because that would be a good story.
I am excited about going to Burning Man. It's just going to be me and my brother and his girlfriend and my old friends from the old burn. It should be a lot of fun. Oh, and I've got really cool news. You know how you've been a little stressed out lately about childcare and raising our kid and stuff? Mm-hmm. I'm going to bring her.
You didn't even arrange it.
Yeah, I'm just going to
pack her up tomorrow.
Last minute.
Okay.
She gets in free. And so I'm just going to take her. I'm going to say Burn Voyage to you and just pack up little Jezebella. That's her name. We finally decided to reveal it. Her name's Jezebella. And no, her name's Jezebella Esmeralda.
Imelda Marcos.
Quinine the third. So it's Jezebella Esmeralda Imelda Marcos Quinine the third. She's named after the malarial drug that's in tonic water. Because I love tonic water. And I'm going to be drinking a lot of it.
But instead of collecting shoes, she collects plastic bits of toys that have 30 pieces.
That is true. Our child feels like she thinks she's in a scavenger hunt, but no one has explained the rules to anyone. So she's just like, look what I found. And it's like a big pile of trash. And you're supposed to be like, oh, I love that. We have a new strategy, by the way, which is we don't say I love that. Have we talked about this yet? We say, oh, you worked so hard on that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel sometimes when I see you do stand-up. I go, oh, you worked so hard on that. Wow. You worked really hard on that bit. No, we did a show recently together for the first time in a while at the world-famous Comedy Store. It felt like we were young again. Our child, Esmeralda, or Jezebella, spent the night out at the nanny's house. She had her first sleepover. And we went and we did midnight spots at the Comedy Store in the belly room. And then we went out for Thai food afterwards. Anyway, you were on stage and you were... It
was nice to connect in that way.
It was really nice. And can I give you a review of your set?
I would love that.
It was straight up slamming.
You saw my set?
I watched your set and I got to say, it was fire.
Wait, did you really?
Of course I did.
Oh, that was nice of you.
Did you watch my set?
What? Is that now?
Leslie Jones was there. She went on before me. I've known Leslie for 10 years. And she introduced me after the person playing the piano played the piano and said, oh, Moshe Kasher is next. She introduced me and said, ladies and gentlemen, Moshe. Not even...
It's honestly a better name. You could one name it.
Moshe?
You should change it, honey.
That's an Egyptian comedian. That's not me. Moshe.
But no last name.
No last name. Didn't attempt the last name. But you know what? I had a great set anyway. Even though I was Moshe, I turned it into gold. Had a great set. Came upstairs to the belly room. Another great set. Honestly, I'm a comedic threat.
Moshe was roasting me for not knowing the internet.
What? What do you mean I was roasting you for not knowing? First of all, just the way you phrase it. Not knowing the internet?
No, you're like always mad at me because I don't get TikTok humor.
Well, I'm following.
And you're like, oh, look at this. And it's just not funny to me.
Well, there's a certain level of internet humor that Natasha at her age is just not, she doesn't see the humor in it.
No, it's not that. It's that I don't want to fill my head with things of that low of quality. Like I would rather like absorb like art and like higher level things.
You're allowed to do both, I feel like.
I agree, but I do feel that you have to, actively, if you want to like quality, you kind of have to actively seek it out.
What's the most quality thing you've seen recently of late?
Oh, I saw that movie Gloria by John Cassavetes.
Oh my God. Yeah, I saw that broken up on TikTok. There's a whole TikTok account. It's awesome. It's called Cassavetes Bites. And you just see every bit of John Cassavetes' body of work in TikTok bites.
Of
it's
like
awesome.
Other people, like 12-year-olds
all these awesome,
doing it in an empty mansion?
Yes, all these awesome young influencers with like Disney good looks and perfect teeth doing John Cassavetes movies.
I once went to a Carrot Top show and the opener was a video of various people and animals, mostly people getting punched in the balls.
I got to be honest.
And that was 45 minutes opener and it was killing.
It was 45 minutes long?
It was like the video that's playing in the background as you wander in. So whenever the house opens, that video's playing.
And then Carrot Top comes out and it's just him?
And it's just Carrot Top.
That's actually brilliant of Carrot Top because he doesn't want to go up cold, but Vegas, doesn't really allow for an opener in that way because it'll, traditionally in stand-up you get an opener because you don't want to be the first person getting the laughs. But then if you're in a more of a theater show, it's a little bit like, why is there another performer here? I love this. Punched in the nuts.
So that's
punched in the, you know what I say, my chabros say? We say punched in the nards.
Well, anyway.
A nut shot, we call it.
Watching TikTok reminds me of that video when you just look at people getting punched in the nuts.
What?
In the nut? In the nards. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, it just kind of reminds me of that sometimes.
I'm not on TikTok. I have a few accounts on Instagram that I follow that show me the worst parts of TikTok. I would call it deep cringe.
You're watching it for cringe, like you're watching it because it's bad.
The account I follow actually is called Cringe Moist, and it's all the cringiest things that they have found. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of your stand up is on there.
Oh, are there stand-ups on there?
No. It's all people.
Define cringe.
It's mostly people. It's hard to define, but it's cringe is stuff that you watch and it makes you cringe. It's like, oh my God, this is so cheesy. I can't even look at it. But it's mostly people that are like doing this internet thing. There's this specific kind of like thirsty internet loser, who doesn't actually have talent, but has like bizarre, uncanny valley good looks.
That's the genre that you're into.
That's just right now what I'm looking at. I also follow Hood Clips, very different, but also quite funny. Different vibe though, Hood Clips and Cringe Moist. That's where I'm at right now. John Cassavetes is where you're at. I'm at Hood Clips and Cringe Moist. So we're just in a different zone.
All right. Well, on that note, maybe we could give our expertise
to some calls. Before we do that though, I want to know, what are you going to do while I'm away? Are you nervous that I'm going to stray? Are you feeling any type of way? As I go to my roots, back to the rave, back to the burn, where I'm gonna say welcome home to a bunch of people. I'm gonna hug my people on Playa. I'm not
gonna heat up some ramen. Take a dump in a Porto.
I got my own Porto that I bring. I bring a Porto, so I don't mess with the COVID hot boxing that's gonna be going down. I got my own toilet situation. But tell me, do you have any feelings about me leaving? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I just want you to be safe because I love you and I want you to come back.
I'll come back. I'll come back a changed man, though.
Why?
You better. I'm just going to be. The Playa will change me, brother.
Well, I'm excited for you. And you should take that time off after Burning Man as well. Remember you said it's good for you to go away somewhere. And then I think after that you should take another. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, you really want me to leave?
No, I'm excited for you to have an adventure.
I'm excited to have one. I can't wait. But you know what I wish? I wish my family was coming with me.
I bet you do.
I really do.
I'm sure you do. I wouldn't want to go there without my family.
Cousin David, cousin Faggy, cousin Hindi. I wish my family was coming with me.
Not your daughter? And your
I
wife?
would love it if you guys came, but I won't put you through that.
Yeah, why bother? There's many great places for a toddler to have an experience that aren't Burning Man, that aren't like drug fueled, that aren't like age inappropriate. Even though there's kid camps, like there's like you could take her camping, you can do like so many cool things.
Yeah, Yeah, or I could do
You
that.
take her to, a shorter term thing where you are close to a local hospital.
All right.
Where you're not like 3 days away from help.
Well, Natasha, I'm going to be thinking about you the whole time. I'm going to try and drop you a FaceTime from time to time, maybe even a pin.
Oh, there's bad service there. I forgot about that. Because I remember when we first started dating, you would go to Burning Man and then I wouldn't hear from you for like 5 days. And I was like, oh, I guess we're breaking up.
You would think that?
Well, you were just like very far away. Like, yeah, you didn't check in really.
I would come home, my cock covered in dust, and I'd be like, I'm back, babe. Ready for you. Let me just shower up real quick, and then we can have some Chabro yogurt together. Chabrogurt. That's what it's called. Chabrogurt.
Okay. Well,
Burn
anyway.
Voyage, everyone. I'll be a different man next time you see me. And in the meantime, Natasha.
Let's take a call.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
You know that I love single-use plastic, right?
Oh my God. I'm trying to... Every time you go to a hotel, they give you like 9 million plastic water bottles.
It's insane. I've been thinking about it more and more when I throw a single-use plastic away, how horrifying it is for the environment. And you know who else has been thinking about that? The people at Blueland.
Did you know that an estimated 5 billion plastic hand soap and cleaning bottles are thrown away each year? And if that's not bad enough, most cleaning formulas are 90% water, which is heavy to ship, leading to excessive carbon emissions. Plus, those products are often filled with nasty ingredients like chlorine and ammonia, and that's a lose-lose situation for you and the planet.
So Blueland, these guys had a brilliant idea. What if you stopped using the single-use plastics? They ship you a bottle. They ship you the compounds that you need to mix with water in order to make cleaning solutions, or just a bunch of tablets that you can use for your laundry detergent, and you just make them again and again and again in these really sharp bottles. And I recommend them. We use them. We wash our clothes with the tablets. We clean our floors with the cleaning solutions. They're really awesome.
The dishwasher tablets aren't like those weird, stupid gel pods that your kids try to eat.
Exactly. Refills start at just $2, and you don't have to buy a new plastic bottle every time you run out. So that's awesome. We would like you to try their Clean Essentials kit, which has everything you need to get started. Blueland products come in refreshing signature scents like Iris Agave. Which one did you like?
I like the eucalyptus mint.
There's a fresh lemon, and for a limited time, their hand soap is getting a summer upgrade with 3 refreshing new scents like strawberry rhubarb, like citrus patchouli, and like coconut palm.
Which one are you? I'm a coconut palm.
I'd say I'm a coconut palm as well, but you know what? I go to Burning Man, so I gotta be a little bit citrus patchouli as well. Right now, you can get 15% off your first order when you go to blueland.com/honeymoon.
That's 15% off your first order of any Blueland products at blueland.com/honeymoon.
Blueland.com/honeymoon.
Now we're going to call Garrett in Virginia.
Garrett's a good name, isn't it? Ooh, there should be a comedian in Virginia called Garrett Top. Wouldn't that be cool? He's like a Carrot Top.
Moshe, you just got it. You're really funny.
Well, thanks. Garrett, I have a question for you. Garrett? We're still connecting. Garrett.
Don't say it, honey. Don't.
I'm going to say it. Garrett, I have a question for you. What do you do? What do you do for work?
I work for a hospital.
Okay. Are you interested in leaving the medical field? Because I know it's been a rough couple of years for you guys.
For what exactly?
I've got a pitch. I'm so glad you asked. Okay. I have a pitch for you. I want you to open up a theater in Virginia. Okay.
Got it.
A comedy theater. And you do prop comedy in an orange wig. And you call it Garrett Top.
Oh, that's tempting.
Yeah. I can imagine it would be tempting. When you hear gold like that, when you hear an idea that's pure gold,
Who writes his act? He can't just open up the theater.
He does Carrot Top's act. The twist is that his name is Garrett. And that sounds like carrot.
He does all Garrett Top. See, I already have him confused. He does all the prop work, all the bespoke props. He gets them ordered in.
He goes to Vegas with a prop master.
It was a good show, by the way.
I'm sure Carrot Top's a master. He goes to Vegas with a prop master. They watch the show, and then the prop master makes similar props, but they're all Virginia themed. Okay, so it's all about like early settlers in the Americas and proximity to Washington D.C. and stuff like that. And that's your future. That's the rest of your life.
Okay, sure.
Great.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in.
Wait, hold on. Let's hear what he has to say too.
Okay, fine.
So I grew up super religious. My dad is a pastor. My mom also like really religious, grew up in the Midwest, all that stuff. And I recently moved away from my parents, away from where my parents live. My wife and I moved, relocated out here to Virginia. And for the past like several months, year or so, my parents kept saying like, when you move, when your wife takes this job and stuff, and you move to a new area, just make sure you find a good church family, and like, it's really important that you find a good church family and a good church to go to and all this stuff. And I haven't gone to a religious service in like since pre-pandemic, basically. I just, for a variety of reasons that is too long to get into, I just kind of have distanced myself from the church. And so I'm just kind of, I always just kind of tiptoe around it and just kind of tell them what they want to hear, like, yeah, yeah, sure. And I don't know how to bring this up with them, that I'm just really not interested in attending religious services anymore.
Damn it.
Because
my advice would be to just keep lying to them. And just be like, okay, mom, love you. Yeah, we have our church. We've been, and if they push you to do more.
Oh yeah, it'd be kind of fun because I know you're a creative type because you were going to open up the Garrett Top thing. It'd be kind of a fun game for you every week to call and just be like, you guys, Pastor Greg this week had a sermon on grace.
No, I'm not saying
Pastor
that. You
Greg,
just kind of like,
he talked about grace, and the way that Pastor Greg talks about grace, it's such a, you could just kind of every week have a new topic.
I just realized that's why Jews got off easy. They can be considered pretty religious Jewish if they go to temple 4 times a year.
It is true. They're
Whereas like Christians want you every week to like have a church, because we have a synagogue,
Right.
but we
Sure.
only have to go 4 times a year.
so
I mean, of course, I'm oversimplifying it, but I'm just saying.
what's the dilemma, Garrett? You want to tell your parents?
Well, yeah, I mean, I said like before we moved out here, I was like, I could just tell them like, just look up like whatever, Google whatever the closest church is and be like, yeah, I've been going to this church, it's great. But my wife was like, you shouldn't have to like lie to your parents about this stuff. I'm like, that's true, but I don't know how to like let them know that that's not something I want to do anymore, because it's like their identity is so wrapped up in their faith, and they brought me and my brother up that way, that like it's not like saying I'm gluten free now, or I don't eat dairy, or something. Like saying I don't go to church is like not acceptable to them, because they're so like,
There's so many levels to people, like how religious are they? Because like, I feel like if it were my kid, I would want her to grow up and be the religion that she connected with.
Honey, I'm not getting that vibe from Garrett's parents. Okay.
But I'm just saying, then how important is it that he really connects with them?
Seems pretty important. Let me ask, are you?
Yeah, like,
You guys are close.
So, yeah. And I have a great relationship with my parents, and they're great parents. I love them. We're close and everything. And for the last since the pandemic started, I did still attend or view a religious service online for a church that I had been going to, but then after a while I just kind of lost interest in it, and I kind of realized that I was really just I liked seeing people there. Like I had friends in the church that I was close with, but I wasn't like interested in like the worship aspect. I don't like sitting through a sermon. Like the stuff that makes church is just kind of, I eventually just realized like, I don't want to do this anymore, but my parents are like, that's like everything to them, because they're like, you have to go to church.
My God, I have your answer.
Oh, Natasha,
Okay.
I can't wait to hear it.
It comes straight from the Vatican.
Yeah.
Well, when I went to the Vatican to tell him I was converting with Moshe, I was like, I'm just going to tell them because I have all this Catholic guilt. And he was like, I told him I said I'm converting to Judaism. He's like, well, what can you do? And I was like, and then he goes, could you just go once a year? Could you just do midnight mass on Christmas? And I was like, I actually don't think I can, because I don't really have people in my life who do that, but I probably would. And I think that if you could say something like that to your family and let them know that, you're open to still like giving to the charitable foundation of it, if you are, like paying for the fees of a church, but, for you spiritually, you want them to understand it doesn't speak to you, but you are willing to accompany them maybe to this special, fill in the blank.
You're saying he should offer to go with his parents once a year to church.
That's what that's what the Pope said.
I mean, that wasn't the Pope that you met with, Natasha. You don't just sit down with the Pope to tell him you're converting to Judaism.
I'm just saying that's what the papal
one of his goons. One of his goons. That's what. Well,
I went to last year, the last service, like right before Christmas. I went to my dad's church where he preaches at. And my parents like made a big deal of it. They were like, my mom like hugged me a bunch and was like, "This is all I wanted for Christmas. I'm so glad you're here," and all this stuff. And it just like put a lot of pressure on me. And then right before I moved, my parents each individually, like when I saw them for the last time before moving, they were like in tears, literally like telling me like, please find a good church when you get out there.
All right.
It's so important.
All right, Garrett.
Okay.
Let me jump in.
My advice is too flippant
Sure.
because they're so fervent.
Well, let me jump in
And
here.
I don't have experience with that.
I'm curious. Are you a believing Christian still?
I mean, I'm kind of more like, I'm not atheist. I'm more, not that there's anything wrong with that. I'd say I'm probably more agnostic. Like I believe in something, but I just don't, there's just like a lot of reasons that I kind of distanced myself from the church in the last few years, especially. I just didn't like a lot of things that were going on in general. And as I got away from it, like the pandemic kind of opened my eyes and made me realize like I was really just kind of going to church because I had friends there and I liked the social aspect of it, but I wasn't interested in like the worship aspect of it.
So you're
And by the way, say that exact thing to your parents.
well,
You can tell them that.
So you've moved away from being a believing Christian once you had a little time to interrogate whether or not it was an honest belief system for you. You've come to realize that that's not really fully, at this point in your life, not an honest belief system for you.
Which, by the way, is very positive because it means you are a searching person and you are searching and soul searching. You're not just willing to do it by rote, which is another important thing to say to your family. Go on.
But now what you're dealing with is the fact that as a 30-year-old, how old are you?
33.
33-year-old married man.
Good guess.
You're not sure if you're allowed to tell your parents what's true about you, because they have laid such a trip on you that you are willing to engage in a, I would say, rather non-Christian dance of pretending that you still have a relationship with the church, rather than just tell them that that's not for me. Now, I understand that it's a hardcore game in Christianity.
Yeah.
In fact, my stepfather's father, they have family that's so Christian that when he was dying, they came to he was not a Christian, right? I mean, this guy was not. He was 85 years old or whatever. They came to his bedside and were like, just say you're Christian. Just be Christian now. He was like about to die. He's like, and they were like, just be Christian real quick. And he's like, okay, I'm Christian. And they were all like, oh, thank God. And just so that he could not go to hell. Do you think that's what it's about? They're worried that you'll like go to hell if you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
I mean, they're very like fundamentalist, like evangelical. They're like, that's why I think it's such a hard conversation, because they're not going to be like, oh no, yeah, that's fine, just figure out whatever you want to do. It's like,
it'll be every conversation from now on will be about that.
Because like if I said like, oh, I'm not interested in going to church anymore, that's equivalent to me saying like, I'm cool with going to hell and being separated from you guys for eternity when we pass away.
Right.
Literally, I mean, that's the mindset we're dealing with.
But it's important to note, you don't share that mindset.
Correct.
You do not believe that you will be separated from your family in the afterlife.
Obviously
because
not.
of the life choices you're making. Well, some people.
That's amazing. The pandemic made people like.
But some people.
Non-believers.
But some people Some people are still stuck in a limbo where they still believe in this heaven hell dichotomy, believe in Christ, win prizes when you die, but they can't bring themselves to go to church, and so they're just like, I guess I'm going to hell. That's good for you that you don't. I'm not saying it's good to not be Christian. I'm saying it's good to not be both not a faithful Christian, but also think that you're damning yourself to hell. That's a very bad spiritual place to be.
Right. Yeah. And I don't have a problem with like my parents doing it. That's fine. That's their thing. And I'm not opposed to kind of like Natasha said, going every once in a while, like when we visit them or whatever. But
Right.
I mean, like I was brought up, like we even went to, when we would go on like family vacations to wherever, pre-internet, pre-Google and stuff, my parents would like get in the yellow pages and find a Christian church for us to go to on Sunday.
Now, wait, I have a question, Garrett.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have your answer for you, but I'm going to withhold it. Now, I have a question. Your parents don't believe in the kind of Christianity where a person's like, oh, I don't go to church, but I'm a believer.
Yeah, not really, no.
Really? Isn't the whole Christian thing about like, oh, even though I'm sinful, I give my faith over to Jesus and he forgives me and then I go to heaven or whatever?
Well,
that's not their
like
thing.
There's like a lot of scriptural stuff my dad would reference about like community and like the body of Christ is the church and all this stuff.
Okay.
And like, yeah, they're really not down with the like,
Got it.
can't.
I have a question. Like the way you talk about your parents, that kind of belief system seems so inflexible to me that it's hard for me to imagine it doesn't bleed into other areas. And if I had that big of a gulf between me and a parent, I would just probably lie and pacify them.
But for the rest of your life?
That is an option.
Well, that is actually kind of, and no offense, Natasha, it does actually feel like your angle would be to, it's very, Natasha and I think are in a pretty direct dichotomy here with this kind of thing, because I feel like that would be your answer. If there was something this rigid and hardcore and overarching in every interaction you'll ever have, your answer probably would be to pretend and to continue to spin the plate of a lie. My answer would be to have a conflict. And neither of those are particularly good, I think, answers, right? You don't want to you don't want to go to your family and have a fight every time you see them from now on. And you also don't want to engage, as your wife said, in some kind of theater performance where you're like, oh, yeah.
Wait, you have a wife?
Yeah, he's got a wife.
So what does she think about it? What are
Sorry
her
to disappoint.
No, but
Garrett,
like,
don't worry about it. Garrett Top cheats. Garrett doesn't, but Garrett
no,
Top.
but like real talk, it is time to like have your own life, right? Like you have a wife, you guys have your own family, you're establishing your own belief systems. What does she think? Is she from this kind of background? Because you could also blame it on her.
Oh, that would be a great call.
She was also brought up like in the church and stuff, but her parents are a lot more chill about it. They're just kind of like, whatever, like if you want to go to church, go for it. Like it makes them feel better going to church, but they've never pushed it on us.
Your parents, they're like dogs. They need to be like hit. They need to be like controlled, like they need a little whack. And so you just need to be like, hey, listen, subtext, back off. We're doing our own thing. Start setting this now, because soon you're going to have a baby and they're going to be dramatic and they're going to be talking to your baby about Jesus Christ.
Yep.
And like, it's like you got to like put the brakes on them a little bit. And I think that just you're feeling enough that you have to call a podcast up to talk about this. I feel like you need to have some talk with your family, even if it's a little like toe in the water, like we're establishing our own thing and it's really important to us. And I'd appreciate it if you didn't talk about blank or push us into that or whatever is the thing that's the most annoying. Keep reminding us that we're,
I like what you're saying. Garrett, I have a question based on what Natasha's saying. What if, because I've been thinking of it in very dichotomous terms too, and I use words like dichotomous because I'm an incredibly brilliant Jewish person. Now, what if I keep thinking of it as either you tell your parents, I am not in the church anymore, or you lie to your parents and pretend you are. What if you began a dialogue? Maybe this would go over better. If you, based on what Natasha's saying, you begin a dialogue where you have a master strategy, right? Where you're not going to lower the boom because that is what's going to happen.
what's that mean?
He's not going to just call his parents and say, I don't go to church anymore. That's who I am. I've grown up now. Deal with it.
Right.
And I understand, like, to be honest, that's the more mature choice, Garrett. The grown-up choice is to be your own man, which is what this is about. This is like, you have your own life.
We're telling you to be a little bit of a pussy, but kind of stick up for yourself.
Yeah, I'm saying keep a little bit of cucking for Christ, but don't go all the way. Like the right answer here, in a way, is to say, I'm a 33-year-old man. I'm married. I'm not living for my parents anymore. Mom, Dad, your relationship with God is your own relationship. I've got mine. Just I'm not doing church anymore, and that's who I am, and that's the truth. But that kind of atomic option might cause either A, a gigantic rift in your relationship with your parents that you're not willing to have, or B, a horrible new chapter in your relationship where every time you ever talk to them, they're going to be harping on Christ and hell and hellfire and church. What Natasha, I think, is suggesting is you have a long strategy where you get them used to the idea that you ain't Christ's Garrett anymore. You're a new man. So you start off with something, it's
going to feel like a slap in the face to them.
Right.
So you got to do it.
Rather than the slap, you do a slow slap where you start off with an email or a call. Next time you call, you go, the truth is, we're not going to church quite as much as we used to. We're it's a little different here in Virginia, and so that's kind of what we're doing. But still got a relationship. And then the next time you say, oh yeah, we haven't been to church in a while. And then the next time you say, oh, we'd love to come to church with you. You basically slow play the reveal.
I don't know about this.
You think a conflict is what's in order?
I mean, what you're suggesting is that he has to have like 18 conversations.
I'm suggesting
what he could accomplish in maybe one.
But the one
of like just kind of like hurting their feelings a little bit, but kind of he seems pretty much like he knows what's up.
But what I'm
seeing if they can take it.
I'm saying,
and if they can't take it, then lie.
I'm saying, what do you mean? It's too late. once you tell
or
the
just
truth.
be like,
He's going to say, oh, I don't go to church anymore.
Well, maybe they're delusional.
They go, oh, I don't go to church anymore. They're like, Garrett, you're going to go to hell. He goes, oh, you know what? I am going to church. I'm sorry. I'm back in church.
Here's the thing. If someone told me that they really thought I was going to hell because I didn't believe in their God, I would
it's insulting.
Feel like I did not share reality with them. So when I don't share reality with someone, I don't have respect of
but it's
the truth as much.
It's his parents. He doesn't have that option. He can't be like, bye. I mean, you could. That is an option.
Well, they're thinking ill of him, and they don't want him to have his own life.
You know what the truth is,
That doesn't
Garrett?
seem positive.
You know what the truth is, Garrett?
What's that?
The truth is the word of God, and it's in the Bible. No, the truth is you don't for sure know what your parents' reaction would be if you told them, the truth is I am not going to church. And I feel bad because I've been lying to you about it.
Try to be like super real.
And it's just not speaking to me right now. Maybe I'll go back. I'm not an atheist. I'm still have a relationship with God. I mean, maybe a little zhuzh for them, but I'm just not doing church right now. And I would appreciate it if we just could accept that about me and not make it a big thing.
That's good, because then you don't have 9 more conversations about it.
You do. Actually, Garrett, you definitely do.
Well, but I'm just saying, just go out of your comfort zone.
Anyway, I told you I had the answer for you, Garrett. And I haven't given it to you yet.
Yeah.
Tell them you're gay. Just tell them you're gay.
Do they believe gay people are going to go to hell?
Of course. Come on, Natasha.
I mean, I've never had that conversation straight up with them, but I can't imagine that their answer would be anything different.
Oh, this could actually be cool, Garrett. Okay, this is great. You tell them you're gay, but that you're living a lie with your wife because you don't want to live a life of sin. And maybe they'll be like, you know what? Maybe just being married is as good as we'll get from Garrett. Maybe this will be good. What do you think would happen? I'm back to being sincere. I know sometimes it can be difficult.
Uh-huh.
What do you think would happen if you told them what I just told you? Mom, Dad, I love you. And, and I even love God and I love the church. I think no ill of it. But the truth is, it's not speaking to me right now. I'm not, you always say, find a church, but I have to be honest with you. I'm not looking for a church right now. I'm doing my own thing. I've got my own relationship with God, and that's what I'm doing.
And I'm starting my own family, and we hope to find our way, but we're just not sure right now.
And we love you, and we'd love to come to church with you on Christmas, but I would love
add that. She's gonna be counting down the days.
I would love it if we just didn't make my faith a topic of conversation in between us all the time. How do you think they would react?
I think, I mean, they wouldn't disown me. They wouldn't just be like, we're done talking to you, or like you're a lost cause or whatever. I think they would be very devastated that I wasn't making any effort to like find a church and a church family and all this stuff that they want me to do. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never had a conversation like that or like that serious with my parents before, just because I'm non-confrontational and and we've usually gotten along. But I think they would be a mixture of very sad and worried about me, but also, yeah, they wouldn't like cut ties with me, or like it wouldn't like permanently like blow up our relationship.
I've got your answer. I now have figured it out. I have figured you out psychologically, Garrett.
He doesn't want to be confrontational, and I get it.
But
it's
more
hard.
than that.
I don't want to either.
It's deeper than that, and it is about a lack of confrontation, but it's deeper than that, and it's actually, I would say, a little bit sadder than that, which is you're afraid that you will devastate your parents if you let them know who you really are. But
Yeah.
But those are your parents, and you love them, and you are a married man who is 33 and has your own life, and it is, I believe, time for you to allow yourself the courage and respect the love you have for your parents enough to share with them who you really are. I mean, this isn't Christian either. It's like pretending. So I think Garrett, that you deserve, your parents deserve, and you deserve not a confrontation, but a confession, if you will. This is me. This is who I really am. I love you, and I want you to know me. And I think you should. I 100% feel that you should do it. Either that or convert to Islam.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's a good option too, I suppose.
They would definitely feel like they couldn't break through to you if that happened. I just think, you know what?
Maybe it could make your relationship better with them.
Well, the fact that you say they won't disown you makes me think they're not mentally ill.
They just need to be like
no.
Submit. You need to dominate them a little bit in terms of this.
I don't think dominate. I think you need to open yourself up and let them know who you really are.
That's true. Yes, and the times that you do pray, you should pray that they have a more open mind.
And you should pray that you have the courage. Pray that you have the courage to show your parents who you are, because the truth is they aren't in charge of you anymore. The ties are cut. You're your own guy now. You're an Endless Honeymoon podcast fan. There's no way you're going to heaven.
And
it's not possible.
And the more you stick up for yourself, the more your wife will want to fuck you.
Oh, that's true too. I think that's true too.
There we go.
So I think you going into this, like getting ready for battle, is not the angle. You going into this with a generous spirit, getting ready to let your parents know who you really are, that's the angle.
Being very gentle about it.
And their reaction, here's some wisdom coming down the pipe. Their reaction, their disappointment, their heartbreak, that's not your business. You're not responsible for their relationship with codependency and faith.
And in terms of success rate for a conversation, Moshe, do you suggest, definitely not text, do you suggest phone call? Do you suggest in person? Do you suggest, because sometimes I like phone calls because you can have all your points written down and you can like remember to make sure you tell her about the Christmas thing and like make sure that you've like, because it's going to be like a big conversation, and unless you live in the same city and you see each other all the time, and a phone call will be weird. But if a phone call is like a common way of connecting, I think that's good because you can really kind of like focus
and I think
make all your points.
I think the whole angle is, Mom, Dad, I love you so much. And I feel like I haven't been being honest with you. I know church is important to you, and I love church. I love the church, but I'm not going right now, and that's just what's true for me.
I've been thinking about when you asked me last time.
Yeah.
You know, like you have a perfect reason to call them. You know.
And I just want you to know who I am. I love you so much, and I never want this to get in the way of our relationship, but I also don't want to be dishonest to you. And I've almost been feeling like I'm supposed to make up that I'm going to church, but the truth is I'm not. And I'm feeling happy with my choice. I know that's not what you want from me, but it's what's true for me. And I just want you to know me, and I'll be there on Christmas, and we can go to church together then.
Yeah, I mean, my mom just brought it up to me literally like 2 days ago. She texted me out of the blue on a Sunday morning and was like, praying for you to find a good church family out there now that you're all settled in.
Memorize what Moshe just told you. Say it to your mom on a phone conversation. Start the dialogue. Make your wife think you're really cool.
Yeah.
And it's like,
You're too old. You're too old for this.
Your parents are being pushy. You know, they need to be like, you need to they need a little bit of a shot collar. Like this dog Pablo, sometimes, you know, you just kind of have to like tap
him a little bit. I mean, that's the truth. Natasha said it. You're thinking of this in terms of, and this is so hard not to. We have to get off the call, but this is so hard not to, because these are like, you know, this whole thing about your parents pushing your buttons because they sewed them on. With religion, it's even deeper, because it's like this, like it's this deep code that they've instilled in you. You're still thinking of this in terms of that you're doing something wrong and naughty by not going, but you're going to reveal to them that you've actually been being naughty by not going. But in reality, in real reality, adult land, they're doing something wrong by pushing their belief system on you. Even though they're kind and you love them, I'm not saying they're bad people. They're good people. But in this interaction, the person that's doing the incorrect thing
is them,
not you. You're living your own life, living a perfectly good life with integrity and with forthrightness. And they are doing something wrong by pushing their beliefs on you. What if they were Republicans or Democrats or Scientologists? Or what if they every week were like trying to push their belief on you that you shouldn't be vaccinated or should be vaccinated or whatever it is? Whatever you don't, pushing your belief system on someone else is a violation of the social code. So they're the ones that are in the wrong, and you just have to set them straight a little bit in a loving and compassionate way.
All right, good luck, honey.
Hey, and by the
Thank
way,
you.
Garrett Top, it's a real idea.
He was open to it. He's cool. He's got an open mind.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking this call. I surprised my wife with tickets to see you guys back in 2020, and the show got canceled because of COVID, and it was devastating.
Well,
I did see Moshe in 2018, but
we were devastated not to be able to see you, so we'll be back.
Sorry, I have one more bit of advice really quickly, is make sure to tell your parents first, start with all the amazing things that Christianity has done for you and how much integrity it has given you, and you're so happy that you were able to like have these values, the positive things. You can even say, and I don't believe in these things, you know, maybe, you know, I have, you know, friends who are gay and I don't believe that it's like, let them know where you stand if you want, no? Or at least
wouldn't.
Or at least generally speaking, say that it was like think of the because it is positive.
Sure.
Moshe was saying the other day, Christians are great to a point. Like, you know, like having like people who have like Christian values, it can be a very positive thing until it gets too far.
Until you start talking about me going to hell. But
yeah, exactly.
I think honestly, okay, again, we got to go. But I think, Garrett, my last thought, I think your parents know already. Mm-hmm. That's why they do too. That's why they keep bothering you with this. Yeah.
Don't be a little bitch boy. Show your wife what's up. Be yourself.
Yeah. You gotta bulk up, man up. And you know what? You know who wasn't afraid to tell the truth to the people, even though they didn't want to hear it?
Moses?
Jesus.
Christ himself. That's right. Christ himself. If he had been less confrontational, well, actually, you wouldn't be having this problem right now. But the point is, go in the ways of Christ and tell the people the truth.
And just be like in John 7:16, like do one last quote.
I think my dad would catch that. He would call that out.
He's like, John 7:16, he who lieth with a sheep much as he lieth with a woman should be.
No, he went to Bible school. He would know a good one.
All right. Well, good luck to you, Garrett. This isn't easy. This isn't easy, but it is growing up.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Bye.
Love you too, Garrett. Bye.
Bye, Garrett Top.
Garrett Top. That's a hard one, man.
But Jewish people, like, they have a different. Jewish people don't have to come out to their parents that they're not Jewish. They're like, okay, I'll just keep being Jewish. It's easy.
That's not true. I mean,
it's more cultural.
Ultra Orthodox people. This conversation happens. You know, I'm not.
How many days a week?
They have a term for it in Judaism. It's called being off the derech, off the path. You're not on the path anymore. But the truth is, like, once you're an adult, you're living for you. It's like this whole thing where I'm still living for my parents, even though I'm a grown up that's married. It's like, that's for the birds. You gotta just be yourself. You don't be disrespectful to their belief system, but they're being disrespectful to yours.
But I'm just saying, you can be like a religious Jewish person and go to temple 4 times a year. Do you know how often you have to go to temple or go to church? Every single week. How many weeks are there in a year?
There's plenty of Christians that only go to church 4 times a year.
7 times the amount.
I'm just saying, there's Christians out there that don't go to church. Come on. I mean, there's a lot of people.
It's a big part of it.
There's a lot of people in Garrett's position that are still believing Christians, but don't go to church anymore because they don't like it. And they're like, oh, no, I still believe in Jesus. That's why I asked him.
It's all about that midnight mass. Promise them midnight mass.
Do most Christian denominations do a midnight mass?
Oh,
That's
maybe
just the
because I'm
Catholics.
Catholic.
Yeah, Catholics
Well,
are...
whatever. He was talking about his mom in tears at their Christian ceremony for Christmas.
Yeah.
Whatever that was.
Anyway, Garrett, good luck to you. And Garrett Top, we'll come check it out. Natasha,
Yeah.
what if, just as a thought, we did another call? Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe.
You know, the other day we had a dinner party for our Patreon members.
That was so beautiful.
And do you know what pots and pans we used to cook with?
Caraway.
Caraway. They are so sharp looking.
They
and
look amazing and nothing sticks.
nothing sticks. I'm not even kidding. Nothing sticks. I'm not joking.
Oh, and it's not toxic.
Dude, the other day I cooked one dish in the Caraway. I took some paper towels because I was in a rush. I wiped the Caraway pot down. I don't recommend it because it was a little hot. It was clean. And I cooked the next dish. Nothing sticks to these things, and they look so cool.
La Crusade better watch themselves.
La Crusade, no way. I'm all about the Caraway.
Caraway Home's non-toxic kitchenwares are all designed for the modern home and feature a chemical-free ceramic coating, so food can be prepared with peace of mind that no hard-to-pronounce compounds will leach into your healthy ingredients.
They've got this cookware set, which is a modern chemical-free iteration of the traditional 16-piece set, but you don't need 16 pieces. They've boiled it down to the 4 essentials: a fry pan, sauté pan, saucepan, and a Dutch oven.
And that's good enough for like a family of 4.
It's so awesome, and they really are cool looking. They've got a number of different really, really sharp looking colors. You can match it to your kitchen. It's really cool. We cook with them every night, and we totally love them. No cap.
Visit carawayhome.com/honeymoon to take advantage of this limited time offer for 10% off your next purchase. This deal is exclusive for our listeners, so visit carawayhome.com/honeymoon or use code honeymoon at checkout. Caraway, non-toxic cookware made modern.
Hey, Tosh.
Yeah, Moshe?
You know what I hate?
What?
I hate when I have something wrong with me, and I know what's wrong with me, and I go to the doctor and I say what's wrong with me, and they go, great. Thank you for paying your copay. I can now refer you to a doctor who can actually help you. And I'm like, I could have made that appointment myself with ZocDoc.
Exactly. I love ZocDoc. I've used it. I've used it in different ways. I've used it to make in-person appointments with the best doctors closest to my house at the time I wanted it. I've also specialists, and I've also used actual Zoom calls for doctor's appointments.
You can get a prescription that way. It's awesome. ZocDoc is a free app that shows you doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, and are available when you need them.
On ZocDoc, you can find every specialist under the sun, whether you're trying to straighten your teeth, fix an achy back, get your moles checked out, or anything else. ZocDoc has you covered.
And the best thing is you're not going to get referred because you referred yourself. Go to ZocDoc.com/honeymoon and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then start your search for a top-rated doctor today. Many available within 24 hours.
You can even read the reviews. ZocDoc is awesome. That's ZocDoc.com/honeymoon. ZocDoc.com/honeymoon. I feel like I'm in that sitcom Frasier.
Well, it is kind of like that, isn't it? And you're that like British lady.
I'm Frasier, honey. You're the
who
British
am I?
lady.
I'm the British lady?
No, you're
I'm Niles.
you're Frasier's
Can I be Niles?
dad's. You're Frasier's dad's dog.
No, that's Pablo for sure. I'll be Frasier's dad because I'm kind of like, I tell it how it is, and I kind of have a bad attitude.
Now
and stuff.
that's one that people should watch. That's a fun watch.
Oh yeah, if you're out there, guys, we
That's
suggest
like a Prozac for me.
we suggest the show Frasier. So that's a hot drop from the Endless Honeymoon Pod.
No, it's like I'm just saying if you're like
Oh, as
into
opposed to
binging,
Cringe Moist.
No, as opposed to Friends. Frasier's a little more like
Frasier's great.
fun, I think.
Remember when we saw what's his name? Niles' name? David
Hyde Pierce?
Hyde Pierce. We saw him on Broadway once
Great.
in a what was it? Was it a David Ives play?
Oh, I thought it was Cabaret. I don't remember.
He was a fantastic actor. May he rest in peace. You heard he died, right?
He didn't die.
He died today.
Moshe.
He did.
You're going to get sued.
By who? The Pierce Foundation? All right, let's make another call. Okay, we're going to call Georgia in Berlin.
I've never been there.
Oh, it's the best.
My friend just got COVID there and had to be there for like 10 days, and had to cancel all of her jobs.
Hello.
But she said it was amazing, and I want to go. And what a gift to be able to like get to see it all. Hey, how's it going?
Berlin, huh?
This looks like the dressing room in Cabaret.
Speaking of Cabaret.
Hi, Natasha. Hi, Moshe.
Hi.
How are you? Oh, you're sounding American.
What's up with all your potions? My daughter would have so much fun. Or is that alcohol?
That's alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh, you sound American. How disappointing. We wanted a real German.
Oh, I can speak German.
Oh, yeah, but we want you to be German. We want you to have second thoughts about being on this call with a Jewish host. That's kind of what...
Hello, Natasha.
Oh, I'm going to broadcast this to your neighbors, and they're going to come over banging on your door like, you disrespectful American. What's up? Why do you live in Berlin?
Well, I grew up in Dusseldorf and I studied in Berlin. So I've been here for 10 years.
You have such a strong Dusseldorfian vibe. I was going to guess that. You reek of Dusseldorf. I have to be honest.
Are your parents like
Dusseldorf
teachers
accent.
or something?
Yeah, my mom's from California and my dad, he brought her to the exotic land of Dusseldorf.
I got to say, Berlin is the coolest, maybe the coolest city I've ever been to.
Cool.
I mean, it was so cool in Berlin that I was disappointed as a Jew that I didn't hate it more. I was like, I'm supposed to not like this, but these people are so fine and so friendly and so cool. I just want to move here. So I get it. I get your community.
Yeah, although I'm thinking of going back to Dusseldorf, actually.
You should get back to Dusseldorf. I think that's a great call.
So what's going
The vibe
on?
is too strong. Okay, well, I'm calling about my boyfriend. It's actually his birthday today, and it's kind of ironic that I'm calling to complain about him. But yeah, he's kind of an intense gamer, and yeah, like it's gotten like especially intense over the pandemic, and yeah, just his Discord personality is kind of what throws me off, because in real life he's like the sweetest unicorn of a boyfriend, but then in game world, when I come in to say goodnight, or like when there's any interaction with me while he's gaming, it's kind of like interacting with a robot. Like
Okay. How many hours a day?
I guess from like 11 p.m. until around 4 a.m. sometimes.
What's he like in the day? Is it affecting his daytime personality?
It's 5 hours a day.
I don't think so. No, it's just kind of off-putting for me sometimes. I guess like the case why also I wrote you guys is like last week there was a Discord meeting, I guess because he's in a band. The lead singer was having like an event, like we're unveiling this music video, and it's on Discord, and like pop on and we'll watch it together and then mingle afterwards. So I joined in.
Is this in real life, or is this?
It's not.
Okay.
It's on that platform.
Okay.
So it's all virtual. And then towards the end, I was like just this invisible avatar in that meeting. But one of the band guys was like, "Oh, I see there's a Georgia there. Dave, is that your girlfriend?" Oh yeah. And just those like kind of.
Oh, he has this is okay. I think I figured it out.
He has a bad virtual personality.
Yeah, he has a bad virtual personality. But honestly, it is funny.
Wait, is that a thing now?
It's a sign of the times.
Oh my God.
It's just real. It's like people I know have a terrible personality on the internet and a good personality in person. And you're lucky it's just Discord, because the people I know, they're mostly comedians. And so they don't just go to the website and have the bad personality. They post their bad personality. And I'm looking at their posts. I'm going, why are you so cringy and braggy and awful and strident and annoying when I've hung out with you and you're like a regular cool guy? I don't get it. So I have a strong feeling about this one. What game does he play, by the way? Just out of curiosity.
Oh God. What's it called? That one. It's like they're in a magical.
EverQuest?
No, it's where they have those tournaments, those huge tournaments for like millions of dollars. I forgot what's it called.
Gosh, World of Warcraft?
He plays that too.
Are these massive multiplayer
who
online?
Who cares what he plays?
No, because this is significant. These are significant because those are the kind of video games that you can slowly lose your life to. In reality, my friend had a friend who
it's called Dota.
I don't know about Dota, but my friend had a friend who was into, I think, World of Warcraft. The guy went to medical school. He was a doctor. And then he started playing World of Warcraft. He stopped practicing medicine. He just played video games all day. For years, his friends stopped being in communication with him. He disappeared into his apartment. Years went by. He finally came out of the game because he fell in love with a woman in the realm, and then realized that she wasn't a woman, and so he got like upset. He left. He came back out. He's like, "Hey, fellas," and they were like, "Oh my God, you're back!" And he's like, "Yeah, that was something." And then slowly, it brought him back into the realm, and he disappeared again. They haven't seen him since.
I mean, it's all about like how's it affecting your relationship? What do you want from your relationship? What do you're not going to change this about him. He is always going to do it. Maybe if it's really important for him to start at midnight because you're asking a few different things. Does he have a bad virtual personality? Is he ignoring you online, or is that feeling like he's ignoring you in life? And some needs not being met. So you need to communicate and talk to him, and you need more of his attention. And I don't know, what time do you go to bed?
A lot earlier, like usually around 11.
This is great.
So he's starting his addiction when you go to bed. So what's the problem? You just need to really think about what you want from him. And ask for it.
This is simple.
And make him give it to you. Leave him.
Mm-hmm.
What is the answer to Natasha's question? How much of this Discord personality, this man actually literally is discordant between his personality online and his personality in person. How much of it spills over into your actual relationship, your waking hours?
Not at all. I'm just wondering if I should even make it an issue, if I should join.
I think
if I should join Game World.
This is very simple. Think of Discord. Think of whatever game this is as his surfing or his gym. Let it be his thing. Stop looking in, because anything you're going to see is ugly. What he's got going on there is ugly. For whatever reason, when he gets in there, is nasty. Pay close attention to whether or not it becomes bad in your relationship. But until then, go ask him. Say, I would love it if we could say goodnight before you log on.
I think that would be nice. You just need like a little tiny something. That would be really good, you know? And I think like letting them go surfing, letting them do their thing, like it's better than them, you know, going and cheating on you somewhere, you know. But if a different question is if you really didn't like how he treated you in that, because if virtual reality is reality to him, he's mistreating her in public, in virtual public. So, you know, that maybe if it happens again, you can say like, you know, I'd really appreciate it, and say it, you know, over coffee in the morning, and like have it prepared, and
don't do the, I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, just like let him know it made you feel a little less than, and you know, maybe like introduce me to your friends, you know, I want to be there too, you know, because maybe you do have a little bit of an attraction to gaming. Maybe play with him once a week.
No.
Tell him you want to start playing with him once a week, maybe.
I don't think so.
It's too addictive.
No, what I think is
she's into it. She's like kind of like.
Do you want to play Donda?
Not really. No, but.
I think you have a opportunity here. I think the fact that he mistreated you in the Discord gives you this gift that you didn't even know you had, which is an ability to tell him because if you went without him dissing you on that Discord, then it would just be, oh, you're just being judgmental. Fuck you. But in fact, you've got this crazy gift where you can sit him down and go, you know, the other day in the Discord, you did this and that. It made me feel a little bit not good, a little disrespected. It made me realize, I think from now on, this is like, he gave you a gift. From now on, I think Discord is going to be your world, and our relationship will take place outside of it. So I'm not going to log on anymore. I'm not going to look in on you while you're playing anymore. Next time you have a virtual hang on Discord with your video game buddies, I mean, honestly, you should have known not to go to that in the first place. I'm gonna pass, and I'm just gonna make that your thing. And can we do a thing where we say goodnight before you log on? Come say goodnight to me. And
the real world, honey.
In the real world.
And then try to seduce him sometimes.
Yeah, and then cut a line between Discord and your rest of your life. Don't look at him while he plays. Don't go into Discord. Just don't look.
And let him see that it's cooler on the other side. Babe.
Yeah. I just wonder sometimes if it were Discord world versus real world, it's just like those moments kind of make me insecure.
Why?
Even though
Why?
It's been 9 years. I don't know.
Why?
Just like why?
That's just. I mean, that could be anything. That could be his hobby.
Yeah.
That could be his work. It could be anything.
If she feels like it's increasing and he's doing sex stuff, that's something else. No. Okay.
That's why we're asking you, is it affecting your relationship? If you're being honest with us and saying it's not, then this just sounds like insecurity. Oh, what if he chose Discord over me? But that's a false dichotomy. I said dichotomy for the third time in the podcast. I'm going to go kill myself. But the point is that's fake. He isn't choosing Discord instead of you. He's choosing Discord and you. That's the life he wants, right? He wants Donda or whatever, or my Twisted Dark Beautiful Fantasy or whatever it is, whatever Kanye album he plays. When you go to bed, it actually sounds like he's choosing to do it around when you go to bed. So he wants the life that the life he wants is his beautiful girlfriend, a Dusseldorfian dream, schnitzel in the morning, and then pretzels at night, and then Discord until 4:00 in the morning. Now, if you can live with that, you have the opportunity to draw a line between real life and his virtual life and just don't look. That's what I think.
And draw your line with a little bit of romance added to it, because you can never go wrong adding like a little bit of a romantic thing. It's only going to make your relationship better, which is saying goodnight. And like, can we always like have like, give me a good night kiss or something.
And
I don't know.
How about you get Fridays or Saturdays for date night? Maybe he doesn't log on during one night a week.
I like that.
And you guys get to go hang out or I mean, that's the other thing is, do you go out at night or does he just say, no, I'm going to stay in and play Dungle Dut or whatever it is?
Yeah. Dingleberry. Well, we don't go out that often anymore, but we do try and make time for each other.
You need to start planning.
I'm an insecure person.
You need to start Well, first of all, I think you should start going to a therapist too, because I think like talking about all of this, like, just like really, what do you want from life? What would make you happy? What is fulfilling to you? What direction do you see your life? And just like being very indulgent in that way, if you can afford it, because I think that would really help.
Isn't it free in Germany? I mean, don't they just let you do anything in Germany?
It is. I have a therapist.
Yeah,
but I mean, just start. So that's great that you have a therapist. So start like
they invented it, right?
Bringing this stuff up. Like, I think that, I just think that.
I have a thought.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you're not being totally honest with us and that you are feeling a little bit neglected by the amount he plays video game. Do you feel neglected in your relationship at all, or do you feel like you have a healthy amount of time with him and then he's got this other thing that he does?
I guess with the pandemic and with us living together, it's gotten hard to kind of carve out time that's just for us, because we're together all the time, and it's like I want it to still feel special, I guess. So I guess date night really does have to be like a conscious effort, and that's lacking right now.
It kind of seems like he's not going to plan it, and I mean, maybe people would disagree with this, but I would just like, if I always think of things that would be fun. Like I do a lot of the planning in our relationship, and I just think that plan something fun, get out of the house, like go somewhere. You have to like and commit to it, and I think that's why I like started even booking comedy shows. Like I just need to like get out of the house and like buy tickets to things, because then you're committed to it, and get him on board. And like once a week you want to do something. Believe me, like that's more than enough for now.
Yeah.
I mean, even once a week is like a lot right now, because we're so used to so much time at home that
Natasha and I, we are going through this. We spent 2-3 years together.
You're blaming it on the video games, you know, but it's like, it's more of like a lack of connection.
It's a symptom, not the disease. That's what I knew it. And I'm really proud of myself for being so incisive and accusing you of not being honest. I love that I did that. And I feel like I could move to Germany and get some work as a therapist. But I think that Natasha and I are dealing with the same thing. It's been 2 years. You feel like you're spending all this time with your partner because you are, but a lot of it is just default time where you're farting in your underwear and forgetting that you're supposed to be a romantic
doing
couple.
Laundry, picking up dog pee, figuring out a schedule, scrambling for dinner.
So recently we've been making concerted efforts to make plans to do stuff. We found this, for example, in our neighborhood. There's this little artsy movie theater, and we're like looking at the schedule and going, okay, we should go to this, because these are movies we would never just default to on Netflix. These are like weird, random art films, and so we go to them, and it feels nice because it's in a nice location and it's a funky little theater. Like, and we started doing that together, and we're planning these events with each other. So forget your insecurity and forget his Discord. The real problem is you want him to pay a little more attention. Give him Discord. That's his world, but take your world back. Fight for your own space. Get some more space back. Much like the Axis powers did in the early 30s, when they felt that they were a little bit limited by the amount of land that Germany had. They went back into the Veil of Settlement, and they began to take over places like Czechoslovakia and Poland. They wanted some space for themselves. Be like the Nazis.
How many days between the Ken Burns documentary about the Holocaust dropping and you watching it?
Oh, day of. Absolute day of. There's no question. It's my Discord. It's my Donda. Holocaust documentaries are my massive multiplayer online role-playing game.
Well, listen, we have to go because our kid, the nanny has to leave, and you can schedule things, and you don't even have a kid, so come on now.
Will you do us a favor? Will you have that conversation, and will you keep in touch with us and tell us how it goes?
I will. Yeah.
We want a German pen pal.
Yeah, I'll write you in German.
I would love that. And then we'll go find a professor of German to translate it for us. Okay.
Okay.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you, guys.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Okay.
Vielen Dank.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Liebe euch. Bye.
Liebe euch to you. Liebe euch. And Natasha, I think we have to say...
She deserves more.
No, I agree. And that's why I'm glad at the end...
She can tell she's like, that guy's not enough for her, but she just needs to like follow her path a little bit more to like really attract like what?
Well, she mentioned that she was insecure. That's when I noticed, the insecurity is also informing the way that she analyzes her relationship problems. She's deciding, he's got this like slight weird thing with the video game, and maybe I should play, and he's perfect. It's like, no, he's not perfect, obviously. Everybody has gotten into ruts in their relationship, and they're in a rut. And she needs to either break out of the rut and get her fight for her space back, or get out of the relationship.
Exactly.
I honestly feel like it's been really nice going on these little dates with you and stuff too, because it changes the rhythm of our relationship. And so anyway,
it's been nice going on these dates with you too.
And I'm going to go on a few dates on my massive multiplayer online role-playing game in reality, which is Black Rock City. I cannot wait. Burn Voyage, everyone.
If you want to call our secrets hotline, give us a call at 213-222-8608.
Send us an email, endlesshoneymoonpod@gmail.com, if you'd like to be on the podcast. Also, subscribe to our Patreon, patreon.com/endlesshoneymoon. You can find us everywhere else. We're on YouTube, and we love you, and goodbye. And Natasha.
Yes?
I'll see you after I go home. I'll be home after I go home.
I love you too.
Auf Wiedersehen, and I love you.